We were discussing chapter number 10, microbes in human welfare. We have seen the use of microbes in human welfare, like in case of food production, industrial scale productions, production of antibiotics, certain chemicals. Even we have also seen the role of microbes in sewage treatment, biogas production, and as a biocontrol agent. Today we are about complete the chapter and we are discussing the last part of this chapter, that is the microbes can also be utilized as biofertilizers. Okay, so listen students, today we have to learn the microbe as a biofertilizer. So let's start with the microbes as a biofertilizer. Okay, so microbe as a biofertilizer. Okay, so today we have to learn this microbe as a biofertilizer. Now, first of all, we have to understand that what is a biofertilizer. Okay, you might have heard this fertilizer, but here it's a biofertilizer. That means here the living organism can act as a fertilizer. Okay, and that fulfill the qualities of fertilizer. That is called as a biofertilizer. So let's see first the definition of biofertilizer. What is a biofertilizer? Biofertilizer, it is an organism. It is an organism which enhances nutrient quality of soil. This is called as biofertilizer. What is called as a biofertilizer? Biofertilizer is an organism. It's an organism. What it do? They enhances or enriches the. What it enhances? The nutrient quality within a soil. This is called as biofertilizer. What it is called? It's called as a biofertilizer. Clear? Now, why there is a need to use a biofertilizer? Why a concept that is going to be arise in our mind that we should use a biofertilizer, or what is a necessity that leads to a use of a biofertilizer? Now you know the function of biofertilizer. First of all, I will discuss the fertilizer. What is the role of fertilizer? The fertilizer that enhances the nutrient quality. They makes the soil a fertile. Okay, and hence the crop can get the required nutrient what it requires. Okay. Now, once the crop gets the nutrient, then the crop production is very high and the yield of a crop gets increased. This is the reason why we are using a fertilizer. Initially, we have started to use the chemical fertilizers. Means we are adding, even currently also, in the current practice, we are also adding the chemical fertilizers. They are the chemicals. Temporarily, they enhances the nutrient quality of a soil and the plants also get the nutrient what they require and the crop production gets increased. Temporarily, I agree that what it happens. Okay, but if you see it in a long term, we have also seen that these chemical fertilizers are harmful. They are polluting our environment. They are polluting the abiotic components like the soil. So it causes a pollution, and pollution is the biggest problem of the current scenario. Okay, this is the biggest problem. If you see the current scenario, the biggest problem is the pollution. And the chemical fertilizers, they are polluting the soil. And along with polluting the soil, they are also a toxic and harmful for the consumers because ultimately they are the chemicals. So, to prevent this, we have started to use a biofertilizers. Here we are using the organisms. These organisms are acting as a fertilizers or that enhances the nutrient quality of a soil, and thus they are going to be used as a biofertilizer. So instead of using a chemical fertilizer, now there is a tremendous pressure to use this biofertilizer in organic farming. Okay, now there is a demand that we have to go for organic farming, and in the organic farming there is a demand to use this biofertilizer. So that's why there is a need to discuss this biofertilizer. The microbe, they are the organisms, they can also act as a biofertilizers. And usually these are the three examples of a microbes which can act as a biofertilizer. The first category of a microbe, that is a bacteria. The bacteria can act as a biofertilizer. Second category, that is a fungi. The fungi can also act as a biofertilizer. The third category or third living organism which can act as a biofertilizer is cyanobacteria. Okay, usually these three, bacteria, fungi and the cyanobacteria, can act as a biofertilizer. Let's discuss each one with an example. Let's first discuss the example of a bacteria, how the bacteria can act as a biofertilizer. So let's first start with a bacteria. Okay, bacteria, few bacteria or some of the bacteria can act as a biofertilizer. Like you might have heard that this plant, leguminous plant. Okay, leguminous plant, the examples are like pea plant or the bean plants, etc. These are the categories what we call it as leguminous plants. Okay, those who comes under the category called family called as leguminaceae. Okay, in the leguminaceae or leguminous plant, the root nodules of this leguminous plant, it possesses a specific bacteria. Which bacteria are present? They possess a bacteria called as Rhizobium bacteria. Okay, this Rhizobium bacteria lives in the root nodules of leguminous plant. Remember, the Rhizobium bacteria, they lives in the root nodule in a leguminous plant. Okay, and they have a symbiotic relationship. Which kind of relationship? They have a symbiotic relationship. Okay, what is a symbiotic relationship? Symbiotic relationship, that means two living organisms, they are living together and each one is benefiting the other one. Means it is a kind of a mutual relationship in which two living organisms are living together and they are benefiting each other. Okay, or they are beneficial to each other. So here this is a bacteria, this is a one species. That is a one organism, that is a Rhizobium bacteria. The another is a leguminous plant. Okay, so these two species, they are living together and such kind of relationship is called as a symbiotic relationship. They are living together but they are also benefiting each other. They are benefiting each other and such kind of a relationship is called as a symbiotic relationship. How they are benefiting? So the leguminous plant provide a house, or you can say that a site for residing Rhizobium bacteria. Even the leguminous plant also provides a ready-made protein. The leguminous plant, they synthesize the protein and it provides to a Rhizobium bacteria. And in return, what the Rhizobium bacteria provides to leguminous plant? The Rhizobium bacteria, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen. They fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Means it take the nitrogen from atmosphere and fix in the soil. Okay, and it provides this nitrogen to a leguminous plant. So thus the leguminous plant gets a nitrogen, and nitrogen is one of the nutrient, or that is a mineral that is required for the growth of a plant, and thus it can act as a biofertilizer. Because here the Rhizobium bacteria provides a nitrogen, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen, it takes the nitrogen present in the atmosphere, fix in the soil and provide it to a leguminous plant. Okay, so thus it acts as a biofertilizer. Okay, so this is example, a Rhizobium bacteria which enhances the quantity of nitrogen in the soil. Apart from that, there are also certain other bacteria, but they are the free living bacteria. The Rhizobium bacteria is a symbiotic bacteria. Symbiotic bacteria in association with leguminous plant. But the other bacteria also exist. Like for an example, like Azospirillum, and the second one is Azotobacter. These are the two free living bacteria. These two are the free living bacteria. These two free living bacteria, they also do the same. They also fix the nitrogen present from the atmosphere and they fix in the soil. And thus they are also acting as a biofertilizer. So here there are the three examples from bacteria. One is the Rhizobium bacteria. It is a symbiotic bacteria. fix the atmospheric nitrogen and can act as a biofertilizer. Other two are the Azospirillum and the Azotobacter. They are the free living bacteria and they are also doing the same and act as a biofertilizer. So here we have discussed the first example, that is the bacteria which can act as a biofertilizer. Okay. Let's discuss the another example, that is a fungi. Even few fungi can also act as a biofertilizer. How? Let's see. So the next is fungi. Fungi can also act as a biofertilizer. Now, I will tell you that as the bacteria has a symbiotic relationship with a plant, similarly, few fungi also has a symbiotic relationship with a plant. And the symbiotic relationship of fungi with plant, it's called as, what it can be called as? It's called as mycorrhiza. I'm writing over here. It's called as mycorrhiza. Okay, so few fungi, they have a symbiotic relationship with a plant, and this is called as a mycorrhiza. Okay, so mycorrhiza is a symbiotic relationship of a fungi with a plant. Now, many fungi from a genus Glomus. Which genus? Glomus genus. This is the name of a genus. From a Glomus genus that can act as a symbiotic, that also have a symbiotic relationship with a plant, and that can act as a biofertilizer. Okay, so this mycorrhiza, okay, they are acting as a biofertilizer. How they are acting as a biofertilizer? So what they do, the fungi, what the fungi do? The fungi absorb phosphorus from soil. It absorbs the phosphorus from soil and provide it to plant. Clear? So what this fungi do? The fungi will take up the phosphorus from the soil and it will provide it to a plant. So the plant gets a phosphorus, and once the plant gets a phosphorus, plant can prepare the different compounds like nucleic acids, ATP and ADP, and many substances can be produced by this phosphorus. So that's why it is acting as a biofertilizer. The bacteria, what we have discussed, they are providing a nitrogen and they are also acting as a biofertilizer. Here the fungi called as mycorrhiza, which are from the genus Glomus, that can act as a biofertilizer because it provides a phosphorus. Okay. The mycorrhiza has also some added advantage. Mycorrhiza can act as a biofertilizer, but it also has certain other advantages. So what are the other advantages of this mycorrhiza? The first advantage is that as this fungi, that it lives in the root of a plant. Okay, so it prevent root-borne disease. You know that the roots are present underground within a soil, and soil has lots of type of a bacteria. It may happen that few bacteria are harmful to a plant. This bacteria may cause a disease to a plant, but when the fungi is present in the roots, like mycorrhiza, like fungi is present, they do not allow a growth of this harmful bacteria. They do not allow this bacteria to produce its harmful effect on a plant. Okay, so it provides a phosphorus. When the fungi is present, it provides a phosphorus, but along with phosphorus, it do not allow a plant to produce the disease. Okay, because it kills the harmful bacteria. The second advantage of this fungi is that, what is the second advantage? It protect or it resists the plant. It resists the plant against salinity, and the second one is drought. These are the two conditions. As these fungi are present, so if the plant has an adverse effect like salinity and the drought, then the plant is resistant against this. And so this adverse condition like salinity and the drought, they do not affect it. And hence the growth of a plant cannot be altered, or that growth of a plant cannot be paused or stopped. Okay, so this is the second advantage. And the third advantage that it leads to, I am writing over here the third advantage. Okay, so the third advantage, it leads to a overall development and growth of plant. What it leads to? It leads to overall development and the growth of a plant. So these are the three advantages. This fungi, mycorrhiza, a symbiotic relationship of fungi with a plant. Okay, it provides a phosphorus. Along with this, it has three added advantages. It prevents a root-borne disease to a plant. It resists the plants against salinity and the drought. And it is also responsible for overall development and the growth of a plant. So thus, the fungi can also act as a biofertilizer. So we have discussed the two examples, bacteria and the fungi. Now we are discussing the third example. What we are calling it as cyanobacteria. Okay, so let's see how the cyanobacteria can act as a biofertilizer. So now we are going to discuss with the third example, which can act as a biofertilizer. It is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, in other term, we are calling it as photosynthetic bacteria. They are photosynthetic bacteria, and as they are photosynthetic bacteria, they are autotrophic in nature. Means they can prepare their own food. Okay, they are autotrophic. Cyanobacteria are the photosynthetic bacteria. They can prepare their own food due to photosynthesis. Hence, they comes under the autotrophic bacteria. In a cyanobacteria, there are three examples which can act as a biofertilizer. First is Anabaena. Second one is Nostoc. And third one is Oscillatoria. Okay, remember the three examples. These are the examples of cyanobacteria. Okay, they are the examples of cyanobacteria or photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, which are they? Anabaena, Nostoc and the Oscillatoria. Okay, these are the examples of cyanobacteria which can act as a biofertilizer. How? So, what it do? It do the same like a bacteria. It fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Okay, it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Okay, so that's why it will make the soil rich in nitrogen, and nitrogen is one of the essential component that is required. Okay, because the nitrogen is required by a plant in higher amount. Okay, you might have heard that we are adding a NPK fertilizer. NPK. What is NPK? NPK. These are the macronutrients which are required in higher quantity: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Okay, these nutrients are required in a higher quantity. Okay, so here it provides a nitrogen. Okay, and thus it can act as a biofertilizer. Even the blue-green algae, it also provides organic material. What it provides? Organic material. And as it provides organic material, okay, so it also makes the soil rich in organic material. Okay, like you know that the cyanobacteria has an important role in paddy fields. The paddy fields have an important role of cyanobacteria. Okay, paddy fields. So if the cyanobacteria are present in the paddy fields, the crop production is very high because it is acting as a biofertilizer. Okay, so this all about the three examples: bacteria, fungi and the cyanobacteria. We have discussed all. In a bacteria, the rhizobium bacteria, or Azospirillum and the Azotobacter bacteria, which can act as a biofertilizer. In fungi, the many species from the Glomus genus, okay, and they have a symbiotic relationship with a plant, what we call it as mycorrhiza, that can also act as a biofertilizer. It feeds the phosphorus. And the cyanobacteria like Anabaena, Nostoc and the Oscillatoria, that can also act as a biofertilizer. Particularly, it also helpful in paddy fields because it feeds the atmospheric nitrogen. And the nitrogen is one of the important nutrient required for the growth of a plant because it is a micronutrient. Okay, so I hope so it is clear how the microbe can be act as a biofertilizer. Okay, so that's all about it. Students, please keep learning, keep watching and like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.